What's going on, everyone? Burbank Aviation here. Welcome back to another video. Today we have the September 2025 Charleston International Airport update for you guys. We got a very exciting airport update here with aircraft changes, frequency changes, and all sorts of stuff to go over here in today's video. Really hope you guys enjoy the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, as it really help me out. I'm sorry I have not been posting much over the past month or so. I've been extremely caught up. School has started up once again. Football season is in play right now. So just do not have much time really throughout the weekdays. Really the only time I am able to do stuff is the weekends. But I'm going to try as best as I can to start rolling out more content for you guys. Hopefully back up to about 3 times a week instead of about one time a week right now, which is where we are at. So I really hope you guys enjoy today's video. I'm sorry that the updates have been coming out so spotty. I'm trying to get everything back rolling in good shape. But anyways, let's just get started. We're going to start down over here, pulling into gate B2 with the Southwest 737-800. This guy just arrived in from Chicago Midway. He's going to be continuing on over to Nashville. Chicago Midway is a 1 daily going up to 2 daily on Sundays. Nashville gets anywhere from 2 to 3 daily flights. You got this Southwest 737-800 here in the Triple Crown 1 livery. This guy's going to be heading on over to St. Louis after arriving in from Denver. Both the services are 4 weekly, flying on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. You also have Baltimore flying at about 3 daily, and then Dallas a 1 daily, and Houston a weekends only. You got the JetBlue A320 right here. This guy's gonna be heading on over to Boston after arriving in from there. So turnaround service out to Boston. This is 2 daily there, getting 1A3. Or actually, he's heading out to JFK. We'll say that. Boston is a 2 daily 1A320, 1A320-300. JFK is a 2 daily A320-300. But on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, you go to a 1 daily A320. And then you have Fort Lauderdale flying at a 4 weekly A220-300. As we start rolling here into the fall months, this is honestly the month that I expect the most drops. There's honestly some increases here, which is pretty good. But this is the month where I do expect the most drops, including the loss of an airline, which we'll go over here towards the end of the video. Got the Air Canada Express CRJ-900. This guy's been heading on over to Toronto, 1 of 3 weekly flights this month. First time we were down to 3 weekly in quite some time. It's been at 5 weekly for a little while now, but a 3 weekly this month, but still pretty good. So great to see that there for Air Canada. You got this Frontier A320 Neo right here. This guy is going to be heading on over to Philadelphia on the turnaround service. That is a 2 weekly, flying on Sunday and Thursday. You have Dallas, Dallas-Fort Worth, starting up here next month, so really looking forward to that. That'll be another 2 weekly service there. So really excited for that, and that'll be big here for Frontier. Got the Spirit A320 Neo right here. This guy's been heading on over to Newark after arriving from Fort Lauderdale, the only 2 services we have running this month. Those are both a 4 weekly, flying on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, so 8 weekly flights total. So pretty good to see that. Hopefully we'll get some other services back here in the near future. You got a double American mainline here, starting in the front with this A319. This guy's gonna be heading on over to Washington Reagan after arriving in from Philadelphia. Washington Reagan is a 5 daily, getting a PSA CRJ-900, a Republican in 5 and 3 A319s. On Saturday, the CRJ-900 goes to a -700, and you lose an A319 flight. Philadelphia is a just straight A319, so straight mainline this month for Philadelphia. It just depends upon the day. You mainly get 4 A319s, 3 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then 2 on Saturdays. But still great to see that A319 doing well there. And the 737-800 there in the back is going to be heading on over to Charlotte after arriving in from Miami. Charlotte is a 8 daily, seeing the PSA CRJ-900, A320, and 737-800. You only see the CRJ twice a week. Outside of that, it's just the A320 and the 737-800. Miami is a 2 daily, getting an Envoy Evenson 5 and a 737-800. So great to see that double daily there. You have Dallas on a 2 daily as well, getting 2 daily 737s there, an additional A320 coming in on Sundays and Thursdays as well. So that's really cool to see right there. Moving on over here, with this American Eagle E175, this guy's been heading on over to New York LaGuardia after arriving in from Chicago O'Hare. LaGuardia is a 2 daily E175, both operated by Republic, going down to 1 daily on Saturday. Chicago O'Hare is a 2 daily E175 as well, getting one Envoy, one Republic on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. One of those goes to an A319. So really cool. LaGuardia had a big jump there. We'll go over that. A huge jump of 11 weekly flights here. So great to see that up to where it is now. We will definitely go over that. But really, really nice increase right there for American. Now, as you finish over here in the B gates, in the back of these two United aircraft, you got the 737-800. This guy's gonna be heading on over to Denver on the turnaround service. Denver is a 1 daily 737-800. So great to see that they're the biggest aircraft we get in here for United. And then you got this United Express E170 phone in for a E175. He's gonna be heading on over to Houston after arriving in from Chicago O'Hare. Houston is a 2 daily Macy E175, going down to 1 daily on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Chicago O'Hare is a 3 daily, getting a Republic E175 and 2 A319s, losing one of those A319 flights on Saturdays. You got this United 737-700 right here. This guy's been heading on over to Newark after arriving in from Washington Dulles. Newark is a 3 daily, getting 2 Republic E175s and a 737-700. You lose the -700 on Saturdays. And then Dulles is a 3 daily, getting a mix, getting 2 E175s a day, 1 Republic, 1 Mesa. On Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, you see 737-700, and then on Saturdays, you see an additional Commute Air E145. Moving on over here to the A gates, starting here with this Breeze A220-300. This guy's going to be heading on over to Akron Canton after arriving in from Fort Myers. Akron Canton's a 5 weekly, flying every day except Monday and Friday. Fort Myers is a 4 weekly, flying on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So 2 good services right there, some of our better services. Breeze took a heavy hit this month. We lost all of our 1 daily services, so we don't have any of those flying anymore. Quite a few 6 weekly services and 5 weekly services. But no 1 dailies this month. They did take a pretty hefty hit. This Breeze A220-300 right here is going to be heading on over to Tampa after arriving in from Orlando. Tampa is a 6 weekly, flying every day except Tuesday on that A220. On Thursdays, you do see an E190 day, which is really cool. And then Orlando is a 5 weekly, flying every day except Wednesday and Saturday. So another good service right there. Here in A6, you got this Alaska 737-9GR. This guy's heading on over to Seattle. One daily flight there on that 737. So great to see that. Really awesome. Love to have that daily Seattle service. Delta A220-100 right here. This guy's going to be heading on over to Newark LaGuardia after arriving in from Boston. LaGuardia is a 4 daily, getting a E175, actually quite a big mix of stuff. You see a Endeavor CRJ-900, Republic E175, and the A220-100. So really cool to see that right there. Boston is a 1 daily. See a A220-300 every day. On Sundays, you see this A220-100, which is where this flight kicks in. And then on Saturdays, you get a second A220-300. Delta 737-900DR right here. This guy's will be heading on over to Atlanta on the turnaround service as always. Atlanta, 7 to 9 daily flights there, mainly 9 daily, but a mix of the 737-800 and the 737-900DR. So great to see that there for Delta. Got the Delta 717 right here. This guy's gonna be heading on over to Detroit on the turnaround service. Detroit is a 3 daily, getting a Skyway CRJ-900 and 2 of the 717, so really cool to see that. I do love the 717. It's honestly one of my favorite aircraft. I think they just look super cool. So love to be able to put these in when I can, heading out to Detroit on the turnaround service of one of 3 daily flights. You got this Delta A320 right here. This guy's been heading on over to Minneapolis on the turnaround service. That is a 1 daily flight there on that A320. So really cool to see that right there. You got this Allegiant A320 taxiing out to the runway for the flight on over to Cincinnati. That is a 2 weekly A320 flying on Sundays and Thursdays. So really cool to see that there for Allegiant. Like to be able to put them in when I can, and this A320 just does look so good. And then finally here to finish off for today's video, got this Delta CRJ-900 heading out to JFK on the turn-on service. That is a 3 daily Endeavor CRJ-900. So really glad I was able to put that in here, heading on over to JFK. Alright, so we do have a lot of stuff to cover here. We're going to start down here with United. So United here, that Denver service is back on a 737-800 from the A319, so super cool to see that right there. For Spirit here, the Fort Lauderdale service is up to a 4 weekly from a 3 weekly, so great to see that small increase right there. But you do have Baltimore and Detroit. Both those services have been suspended to my knowledge, so hopefully we will get those back at some point. Over here for Allegiant, you have that Columbus service. That seasonal has ended, and then Cincinnati's down to a 2 weekly from a 3 weekly, so definitely sucks to see right there. American, go over them real quick. That's Miami service is now a 2 daily, 1 737-800. That is down from a 3 daily. Those were all A319s, so a bit of a change there. And then LaGuardia with that big jump up to a 2 daily from a 2 weekly, so great to see that there. Bermuda Air, we do not have a aircraft for them in the update, but that service will end on October 27th. So that definitely sucks to see. They'll also be pulling out of Windsor Locks, which we'll go over that when that update comes out. So it definitely sucks to see that there, but it was nice to have them while we did. JetBlue here, that Fort Lauderdale service is now a 4 weekly down from a 1 daily, so definitely sucks to see that decrease right there. Also not a surprise as we move here into September. Air Canada, we mentioned that service down to a 3 weekly from a 5 weekly, so sucks to see that decrease there. And then Breeze, the most news here by far. New Haven down to a 2 weekly from a 4 weekly. Akron Canton down to a 5 weekly from a 1 daily. Islip down to a 3 weekly from a 4 weekly. Tampa down to a 6 weekly from an 11 weekly. Orlando up to a 5 weekly from a 4 weekly, so a little bit of an increase there. Providence down to a 6 weekly from 1 daily. Pittsburgh down to a 4 weekly from a 1 daily. Columbus down to a 2 weekly from a 4 weekly. Norfolk down to a 2 weekly from a 3 weekly. Portland, Maine down to a 2 weekly from a 4 weekly. White Plains down to a 2 weekly or a 4 weekly from a 5 weekly, and then LAX down to a 2 weekly from a 3 weekly. So lots of drops there, some bigger than others. That Tampa drop a really big loss of 5 weekly flights there. Still though, some very small increases here. Really only about 3 weekly flights here throughout. That was an increase. So not much at all, really just a lot of decreases. Hopefully that'll start to go up as we get towards October, November. Some busier travel months, even December. So hopefully it'll start to go up, but we will see what happens. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Sorry this has been such a slow kind of past month or so. Really gonna try and get back on the standard uploading pace about 3 times a week, I'll say. That's the plan. So we'll kind of see what happens there. Really hope you guys enjoyed though. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe so it'll help me out. Do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me here on the channel, even throughout these kind of slow times. But I will see you all in the next one.